What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one I want to talk a little bit about our running back, evaluating Jonathan Taylor through the first portion of the year. Honestly, at the beginning of the year, I thought other running backs would be more involved, right? We draft DJ Giddens, somebody who has an immense level of talent, but Jonathan Taylor's just been so good that the other running backs aren't seeing the field. And I thought we saw a little bit of that in week one. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor doesn't play the whole game. We're blowing them out. I think something popped up with him, maybe an ankle or something, and could have went back in, but we were blowing the Dolphins out. So they went ahead and went with the younger guy. And I thought we'd see more DJ Giddens. But JT has been incredible. How incredible? Well, right now, I think most people would pick Jonathan Taylor to win the MVP. The only discussion outside of that, of course, is the fact that it's essentially become a quarterback award, right? It's essentially MVQB is essentially what it's been. So it's going to be hard to see Jonathan Taylor win the MVP. He's going to have to continue the pace that he's on. He's going to have to get over 2,000 rushing yards. He's going to have to hit at least 25 touchdowns to be in that conversation, right? But he has a real opportunity to maybe be able to get, 2,400 total yards and get up to 30 touchdowns this season. So if he's able to do that, maybe he can actually win the MVP. But he's on an MVP pace. A lot of people would pick him to win the MVP right now, playing at an incredible level. So the evaluation here is very easy. This is more so just looking back on what he's been able to do through 10 weeks and looking at who he's in the running with in MVP, right? There are two quarterbacks that I think that are really in that discussion right now. I know on sports betting apps, Patrick Mahomes is in that conversation. I don't really agree with that, but nonetheless, what we're looking at with Jonathan Taylor through the first portion of the year, first 10 games, 189 carries, 1,139 yards, which is a ridiculous 6 yards per carry average. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. That's college numbers. Like, people do that in college. That's not supposed to happen in the NFL. Like, 4.5 is like really good in the NFL. If you're over 4.5, you're having an elite season in the NFL. He's at 6 with 15 rushing touchdowns through the first 10 games. And of course, he has 5 different games this year with 3 total touchdowns. Most of those are all rushing touchdowns, but he also has 30 receptions, 260 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He does have 1 fumble, which happened in the Falcons game, but we were able to recover that one. And as of right now, at least on ESPN, his projection is to end up with 1,936 yards and 26 touchdowns on the ground, and with 442 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. And just looking at kind of what he's done compared to others, right? You look at James Cook is the next closest guy in terms of rushing yards. And going into the Falcons game, one thing I'd said about Jonathan Taylor is, hey, if he's going to stay as a leader in the clubhouse in terms of rushing yards, with James Cook playing the Dolphins, who've given up a lot of rush yards this year, Jonathan Taylor's going to have to go off so that he stays in the lead going into or coming out of the bye week. And that's exactly what he did. 244 yards on the ground. And then James Cook, obviously in the Bills, they didn't have a good day against the Dolphins, so he really increased this lead by a lot. He, again, has 1,139 yards. James Cook, who's been incredible this year, has right now 23 less carries, which, well, obviously through the bye week, Bills had their bye week already. Through the bye week, that'll close up, and that'll be a lot closer. But he has 920 yards. So right now, 219 yards separate Jonathan Taylor from the next closest guy. After that, honestly, just impressive. So should mention it, Rico Dowdle is at 788. Now he does have, and I didn't realize this, 149 carries on the year, but which is one of the leaders of the running backs in the league. But nonetheless, really impressive. He hasn't been a starter all year, so that's just an impressive number right there. But just overall, what he's been able to do, 4 runs of 40 plus. He has 8 runs of 20 plus. Looks like Devon Achane is the only other one that has 8 of 20 plus. And then when you're talking 40 plus, the next closest person is Jahmyr Gibbs with 3. So he's been incredible. He does have the longest run of the year at 83. He has 58 runs that result in a first down. So I mean, when he's going, he's going. When he's picking up yards, it's moving the chains. He's been unstoppable this year. There's really no way around it. Even with as many carries as he has, the rushing first down percentage, 30.7, looks to be the highest in the league from everything I'm seeing here. And the next closest is 28.3, it looks like, from DeAndre Swift. And he has much less carries, much less yards. He's missed some games. But nonetheless, I mean, what JT is doing is absolutely ridiculous. Just overall, everything he's done this year, for me, easy MVP. Like, and yes, I'm a Colts fan, so of course I think that. But just looking at what he's done, it's been absolutely incredible to watch. I mean, game to game, it's like you can expect if he gets enough carries, at some point he's going to break one, right? Whether it's a 40-yarder, a 50-yarder, a 60-yarder, an 80-yarder, he's going to break one eventually. You just have to keep giving him the ball, right? Which was really the problem in Pittsburgh. Even when the game was close enough, we weren't giving him the ball because, throw to score, run to win. This is a different team. This is a different player. Sometimes you can run the ball to score and run the ball to win. And so I think that was a problem in Pittsburgh, is not giving him the ball enough, which I think is evident by the stats that came out after that game. Easily his most down game this season so far there in Pittsburgh, and that's the one where, like, if he doesn't end up winning MVP, it's because the lack of touches in that game, which is also a lack of yards. Pittsburgh did a good job guarding him up, and then when he started rolling, we went back to passing, and we were turning the ball over through the pass game, whether it was strip sacks or interceptions, whatever it was. So overall, man, again, easy evaluation for Jonathan Taylor. He is just by far and away the best running back this year. It's really not even a close discussion. And when you're talking about MVP, the other guys mentioned in there are going to be Drake May, who has not yet taken his bye week. And his yards per attempt right now is at 8.9. He's done a really good job this year. Hate talking good about the Patriots, but Drake May's balling out, which, of course, as soon as the Colts get good again, so do the Patriots. And for whatever reason, the NFL deciding to not have the Colts play the Patriots every year. We've been playing the Patriots every year, even after Tom Brady and Peyton Manning aren't here anymore. So I don't really understand the decision there. I think the NFL right now is regretting not having the Colts play the Patriots like they always do. But Drake May has 2,555 yards, 71.7 completion percentage, which is really good. Like we just talked about Daniel Jones yesterday at 69.9. I mean, essentially 70%, right? Drake May, 71.7. He has 19 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions on the season. So overall, I mean, he's doing an incredible job this year, especially with what he has, right? He has Stephon Diggs. He has Hunter Henry. They have good running backs there, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson. But he's also doing it with guys like Kayshon Boutte, who's been on and off of teams. Obviously was with the Texans for a little while, so Colts fans know that name. But been on and off of rosters, and he's making plays. Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas, is what you might hear some people call him. He's making plays. They drafted a guy named Kyle Williams, a receiver, who just made a big play this past week against the Bucks, and which was an insane throw as he was getting hit off his back foot. Can't step into it. I mean, perfect touch pass down the field. by Drake May. So Drake, I could see why people think Drake May is the MVP so far, right? So he's in that discussion. And then you have, and if he continues to play the way he does, again, it's going to be hard to see a running back win the award. JT has to keep his level of play to continue to be in this discussion and to continue to be a possible front runner. Because if there's one bad game, then, it goes into, this is definitely going to end up being a quarterback. Because then you have Matthew Stafford, who's playing incredible football at, 39 years old, 2,427 yards throughout this year so far. The 67.1 completion percentage, 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, which is ridiculous, right? I believe he has, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions over the last 3 games. This is absolutely. Now, they did already have their bye after beating the Jaguars in London, I'm pretty sure. And it was definitely overseas somewhere. Pretty sure it was London. And so they already had their bye, but still right behind Drake May in terms of pass yards. 25 touchdowns, which is by far the leader throughout the league. Jared Goff is at 20. And as I sit here and look, there are other guys at 18, but then you have Drake May and Justin Herbert at 19. So the touchdown number is crazy. 2 interceptions so far this year, which is absolutely crazy. Jalen Hurts only has 1 touchdown, but of course they don't pass the ball near as much. Jalen Hurts has 241 pass attempts. Matthew Stafford has 310. So passing the ball a lot more, but 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is absolutely ridiculous. 2,427 yards, 67.1 completion percentage. This is a time where if Matthew Stafford was ever going to win the MVP, this would be the one. If he keeps putting up ridiculous video game-like numbers, especially in the touchdown department and keeping the ball out of the opponent's hands in terms of turnovers, then it's going to continue to elevate Matthew Stafford. So Jonathan Taylor is going to have to keep being perfect as we go through the end of the year, both for us to win and for him to stay in the MVP conversation. And coming out of the bye week, I think that should be a thing that we look for. Chiefs, for as good as that Spags defense always is, in terms of stopping the run, and defensive EPA against the run, there are different metrics to look at, different numbers you can look at to suggest that JT should be able to have a good day against the Chiefs. So we'll see what's happening there. Of course, we'll start going over the Chiefs next week and looking into all that and talking about all that. But as of right now, Jonathan Taylor playing incredible football. Really nothing to complain about. Watching him, I was 13 years old watching LaDainian Tomlinson, right? Prime LaDainian Tomlinson. And it was always so fun to watch the Chargers. As much as I couldn't like the Chargers because of the problems that they always seemed to present to the Colts at that time, it was hard not to like LaDainian Tomlinson and what he was doing. I was a big fan of LaDainian Tomlinson growing up. Incredible football player, the things that he was able to do, and then had that 31 touchdown season. Watching that at 13 years old was insane. It was how is this even possible? Every week, teams know what's going to happen and you can't stop it because he's just that good. And right now, that's Jonathan Taylor. It's a blessing to have Jonathan Taylor. So, Colts Nation, man, make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're locked in on what Jonathan Taylor is doing. Make sure you appreciate what he's doing. This is a very rare season in the NFL, right? Even Adrian Peterson's MVP year, he didn't go this crazy, right? Running the ball was crazy. He wasn't scoring this many touchdowns. That Adrian Peterson MVP season was ridiculous to watch as well. Him in his prime, he was nuts to watch. But what we're seeing right now from Jonathan Taylor, who is still young enough, I think, 26 years old, we still have time, right? Assuming we can re-sign him, we still have plenty of time here with Jonathan Taylor. And so I think he's the best he's ever been. He's seemingly quicker than he's ever been. That the home run ability is not going away. It's more prominent than ever. And so just continue to continue to enjoy it through the season, as I'm going to do. And of course, again, we got the Chiefs coming up. That's going to be our next game after the bye week. And once again, we will be live this upcoming Sunday watching the Chargers and the Jaguars and looking at that game. That's going to be a pretty big game both for AFC standings and AFC South standings. So we're going to be checking that out. We'll be live on the channel for a watch party for that. And outside of that, just make sure if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.